Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something really essential, though maybe often overlooked. Bag filters.
Right. They're sort of the unsung heroes of air pollution control used across so many industries.
Absolutely. And the market for them is, well, it's showing some really interesting momentum. Our research highlights quite a bit of growth.
Yeah, significant growth, actually. The data we've seen values it around, what, 9.1 billion US dollars in 2024,
That's the one. And projected to hit nearly $14.6 billion by 2032.
which works out to a KJR of about 6.0%. That's pretty solid.
It is. And that kind of expansion, like you said, it isn't happening in a vacuum.
Definitely not. There are some big drivers behind this.
Exactly. Our research really points to, powerful global forces.
Mhm.
Think about the tightening environmental rules.
Regulations are getting stricter everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. And that's happening alongside ongoing industrial growth, especially in, well, developing economies.
Which just creates this huge need for effective ways to capture airborne pollutants, right? Yeah.
Precisely. These filters are critical. You see them in cement production, power generation, chemicals, even food and beverage.
Helping them all meet those tougher air quality standards, reducing particulates.
And beyond just the regulatory push, there seems to be a growing awareness globally around environmental issues.
That's a good point. Companies are more proactively adopting cleaner production. Plus, the basic need for, efficient dust collection hasn't gone away.
No, it hasn't. We're also seeing things like this shift towards renewables.
Right.
And maybe more technically, actual advancements in the filter materials themselves. That's pushing growth too.
Yeah, the filter media technology is constantly improving.
So when we talk about who's actually making these things,
Yeah.
a few big names tend to pop up.
Mm-hmm. Companies like Donaldson, Parker Hannifin, Babcock and Wilcox, they're definitely major players.
And it looks like they're investing quite a bit in R&D, trying to create even better bag filter tech.
They have to, really, to stay competitive. And geographically, the growth isn't uniform.
No, the Asia-Pacific region really stands out, China and India especially.
Right, rapid industrial expansion plus those stricter pollution controls we mentioned. It's creating massive demand there.
We're also seeing more adoption in other emerging markets too as they develop and prioritize environmental concerns more.
It's a global trend, for sure.
So for this deep dive, our mission really is to get a handle on the current state of this bag filter market. Who are the dominant players?
What makes them successful? What are the criteria we should use to compare them?
And maybe look ahead a bit. What are the potential challenges or, opportunities for newcomers, disruptors?
Sounds like a plan. Where should we start? The big companies.
Let's do that. Our sources consistently point to a core group leading the pack.
Okay, so the names that seem to be at the forefront are General Electric, Eaton Corporation, Donaldson, Camfil AB, and Parker Hannifin.
Right. Each with their own kind of strengths.
Yeah.
Let's start with General Electric, or GE. Huge company.
Massive. Total sales in 2023 were something like $68 billion.
Around $67.95 billion, yeah. And the estimate for their filtration and separation tech part is about $3 billion.
Which gives them a pretty substantial slice of the bag filter market, roughly 13% market share.
That's a big footprint.
It really is. And that share, it's not just size, it reflects deep roots in industries like power generation. That's a tough barrier for new entrants.
Makes sense. What sets GE apart in this space specifically?
Well, a strong R&D focus, definitely. Advanced engineering. They target high-performance filtration for demanding areas, power gen, oil and gas, water treatment.
And the feedback suggests their filters are, what? More efficient, last longer.
Generally, yes. Superior efficiency, better durability. A lot of that comes down to the advanced materials and tech they use.
And they're also looking at sustainability, developing greener options.
They are. That commitment is pretty clear. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. They're integrating smart tech.
Smart tech in bag filters.
Yeah, embedding sensors, using the Internet of Things, IoT, and even AI for real-time monitoring.
So predicting maintenance needs, things like that.
Exactly, which could really optimize how the filters perform and, crucially, cut down on unexpected downtime.
That sounds like a significant advantage, this mix of digital and industrial.
It's a key trend, absolutely. Plus, GE focuses on customizing solutions, and their global reach over 180 countries is huge.
And partnerships, too, to expand offerings.
Strategic partnerships, yes. Broadening their portfolio and getting into emerging markets. They cover a lot of bases.
Okay, let's shift to Eaton Corporation, another big name. Their 2023 sales were around $23.2 billion.
That's right. And filtration products estimated at about $3.5 billion. So that gives them a significant market share too, around 11%.
So right up there with GE. What's Eaton's angle?
Their reputation seems built on, well, high efficiency and reliability. They also focus on using advanced materials, but with a keen eye on minimizing pressure drop.
Why is that pressure drop so important?
Lower pressure drop means the system uses less energy to push air through the filter, so potentially big energy savings over time.
Ah, okay. Cost savings. And like GE, they're heavy on R&D.
Very much so, targeting similar critical industries. Power, oil and gas, water treatment.
And customization seems to be key for them too. Tailoring solutions.
Yes, meeting specific customer needs and navigating different regulatory landscapes is a big part of their strategy.
And they landed some major contracts in 2023. That suggests strong demand.
It does. It points to their formula working: innovation, sustainability, and being very customer focused.
Okay, moving on. Donaldson Company. Their fiscal 2024 sales were about $3.6 billion.
Roughly $3.59 billion, yeah. With the bag filter segment estimated around $600 million. That puts their market share at a notable 7%.
So smaller overall revenue than GE or Eaton, but filtration is clearly a core business for them.
Exactly. And what seems to really stand out with Donaldson, based on our research, is their big emphasis on sustainability.
How so?
They're actively developing eco-friendly filter solutions, trying to align with those tougher global standards, investing in sustainable practices, sustainable materials. It seems central to what they do.
That focus on sustainability, it's becoming more and more critical, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's smart business now. Donaldson also benefits from a strong global presence and a pretty diverse product range.
And partnerships, again.
Yep, strategic partnerships are part of their playbook too, for enhancing products and expanding geographically.
Okay, next up. Camfil AB. Maybe not as massive in overall revenue, but they have a strong rep, specifically in air filtration, right?
A very strong reputation. Known for innovative solutions, particularly for improving indoor air quality and operational efficiency.
And they operate globally.
In over 70 countries, so yes, significant reach. Their bag filters are recognized for efficiency and durability.
Advanced materials again. Optimizing performance, minimizing energy use.
That's the theme, yes. Their R&D is heavily geared towards specific demanding sectors like manufacturing, pharma, food processing, places where air purity is just critical.
Right, you can't
Yeah.
compromise there. Are they also doing the smart tech thing?
It appears so. Integrating IoT for that real-time monitoring and predictive maintenance, it seems to be becoming standard practice among the leaders.
Interesting how that's spreading across the sector.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, Parker Hannifin.
Right. 2023 sales around $19.9 billion total. Their filtration segment is estimated at about $1 billion.
Which gives them about a 3% market share in bag filters.
Still notable.
It is, and what's interesting here is the scale they reportedly produce, around 4 million bag filters annually.
Wow, 4 million. That's huge volume.
It is, and over 65% of that is for industrial use. Gives you a sense of the scale.
And performance-wise?
They boast a very high average particle retention rate, 99.9%, exceptionally efficient.
And they have some proprietary tech. Pulse Jet Clean. What's that about?
Basically, it's a cleaning mechanism. It uses short bursts of compressed air shot backwards through the filter bag.
Like a little puff to knock the dust off.
Exactly. Dislodges the accumulated dust cake, keeps the filter working efficiently. Parker Hannifin claims it can cut maintenance needs by up to 30%. 30% reduction in maintenance would be a big deal for users. Significant cost saving.
Definitely. Plus, they use advanced materials for high temp and chemical resistance, opening up challenging applications.
And they also have a new eco-focused line.
Yes, their recent EcoClear series, designed for stricter environmental standards, aims to cut operational costs maybe by 25% using renewable materials and energy-efficient manufacturing, shows that ongoing innovation push.
Okay, so we've looked at these major players. Now, if you're trying to size up this market or compare these companies, what are the key things to look at, the main criteria?
Well, our research points to several key factors. First, obviously, is financial stability. Revenue, market share that gives you a baseline of their strength.
Makes sense. What else?
Then the product portfolio itself.
Yep.
How broad is it? Do they offer different types of pulse jet, reverse air, HEPA? What are the specific features, the capabilities?
Right. Do you actually have what you need?
Exactly. And crucially, technological innovation. Are they pushing the boundaries on efficiency, durability, cost effectiveness? That's often what separates the leaders.
Okay. Innovation. What else?
Global presence is important. Can they serve international markets, support customers everywhere? And tied to innovation is their investment in R&D. That signals commitment to the future.
R&D spending is a good indicator.
Definitely. And finally, don't forget strategic partnerships. Collaborations can really boost market reach and enhance what they offer through shared expertise.
Got it. Financials, products, tech, reach, R&D partnerships, a solid framework. So we know the giants, but markets evolve.
Yeah.
Who are the emerging players, the ones who might challenge this status quo?
Yes, this is where things could get interesting down the line. There are several companies making waves, names like Thermax Limited, Babcock and Wilcox Enterprises again, Mitsubishi Hitachi Power Systems, W.L. Gore and Associates, and BWF Envirotech.
Okay, let's maybe touch on a couple of those. Thermax, based in India, what's their focus?
They're known for broader water and waste management, but that includes advanced bag filtration. They seem very focused on innovation, sustainability, and they've been expanding internationally, especially in Asia and Africa. That focus on developing markets could be key.
Right, tapping into that high growth potential. What about Babcock and Wilcox? We mentioned them earlier.
Yes, the U.S. company. They really specialize in energy and environmental tech. So bag filters for emissions control and power generation is a core area for them. Strong R&D focus on meeting those tight regulations.
Makes them a serious contender in that specific critical niche.
Exactly. Then you have Mitsubishi Hitachi Power Systems, similar focus on advanced filtration within energy sector emissions control, strong on innovation and quality.
And W.L. Gore, known for materials science, right? Like Gore-Tex.
That's them. They leverage that materials expertise to make specialized high-performance bag filters, often for niche markets where standard filters might not cut it.
A different kind of competitive angle. Material science leadership.
Precisely. And lastly, BWF Envirotech. They offer a pretty wide range of industrial filtration solutions, aiming for efficient, cost-effective bag filters. They're also using strategic partnerships to grow their customer base.
So what ties these emerging players together? What's their strategy against the big guys?
It seems to be a mix. Leveraging innovation, definitely, forming smart partnerships, expanding geographically into growth areas, and often there's a real emphasis on advanced tech and sustainable practices to differentiate themselves.
Okay, so that leads to the question. If a new company wanted to jump into this market today, facing these established giants and these rising challengers, what advice would you give them? What are the guidelines for entry?
Based on the trends we're seeing, several things seem crucial. First, a laser focus on developing advanced filtration tech.
Like what specifically?
Think high-efficiency filters using, say, nanofibers or other specialized media. Things that genuinely improve efficiency and reduce that pressure drop we talked about, that offers a real performance benefit.
So come in with superior technology if you can.
That's a strong starting point. Second, invest R&D into cost-effective solutions too. It's not just about peak performance.
Right, balancing cost and quality.
Exactly. Sourcing quality, but economical raw materials. That could make them competitive in more cost-sensitive sectors like general manufacturing or food processing.
Offer value. Makes sense. What about market focus? Go broad or narrow?
Targeting seems wise initially.
Yeah.
Focus on those expanding emerging markets, Asia-Pacific, Latin America. Build local partnerships there. That's key for access and understanding the local needs.
Local knowledge, local presence.
Absolutely. And maybe focus on specific applications like HVAC filtration or liquid filtration. Carve out a niche where you can become the expert, the go-to provider.
Specialize to start, then maybe broaden out later.
That can be a very effective strategy. And underpinning all of this, sustainability. We keep coming back to it.
It seems unavoidable now.
It really is. Developing genuinely eco-friendly filters, using sustainable production methods, that's not just nice to have, it's becoming a baseline expectation and a potential differentiator.
So tech innovation, cost effectiveness, smart market targeting, niche specialization, and sustainability.
And underpinning it all, relentless innovation and smart strategic partnerships. Those seem essential to compete effectively against the established players.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we've taken quite the deep dive into bag filters. It's clear this is a market seeing significant growth.
Yeah, driven by those big forces: environmental awareness, regulations, industrial expansion.
We've looked at the dominant companies, GE, Eaton, Donaldson, Camfil, Parker Hannifin, and the criteria for their success: financials, tech, reach.
And we've touched on the emerging threats, the challengers bringing innovation, sustainability focus, and targeting growth regions.
It really highlights how sustainability regulations and tech advancements are just constantly shaping this market's future.
It's dynamic. You see ongoing innovation from the big players trying to stay ahead, and you see that potential for disruption from newer, maybe more agile companies.
It really just underscores how these, well, seemingly quite specialized industrial parts like bag filters are actually playing a vital role in tackling huge global challenges, especially air quality.
Absolutely. And it leaves you with a final thought, perhaps. How will this intense global focus on air quality and environmental protection keep driving innovation here? What completely new materials or breakthrough technologies might we see next in filtration? And how could those changes ripple through all the industries that depend on clean air?
Definitely something to watch, a fascinating space.